We'll now move on to HTML tables. Tables, as they sound, are used to display a table of data. We use a table here on the product detail page to lay out rows of data about any discounts available for buying in bulk. Tables can be used for basically any type of data which we want to arrange into rows and columns. In the past, tables have been used for laying out websites. For example, we could arrange all of our content we see on this page into columns and rows. This is now discouraged as there is more CSS alternatives available now, especially since Grid and Flexbox, which we'll cover in this course. Tables though still have a valuable place, and that is to display data such as text or numbers, or even images in a structured way. Let's give this a go over in the product detail.html file. So back over to the text editor, and then let's open up this file. And let's go down to the product. So outside the sidebar and into the main area. So let's just make a little bit of space straight after the product, but still within this main section here. And then we can open up our table element, which has an opening and closing tag. And this is how we create a table. If we look at this table from the finished version, just down here, we have 2 rows of data. Rows can be created by using the TR tags, which stands for table row. So let's go ahead and add these within our table. So in lowercase add TR, and then let's add a second table row just below. Each item or each cell for each row is surrounded in the TD tags, which stands for table data. So in our first row we had quantity, 1, 2 to 3, 5 to 10, or 10 plus. So we can add this inside the first row with TD. The first one was quantity. Then still within the first table row, add some new TD tags of 1. And then 2 to 3, 5 to 10, and finally 10 plus. Give that a save, and now let's head over to the browser and make sure we open up our own project. So I'm going to go over to our project folder just here, and then we can open up this index.html. Of course, ours looks a lot different because we haven't added any CSS just yet, but we can still click on the links. So let's go down to the game controller to open up this product detail page. And there's our first row we see just below the product. So back over to the text editor, we can do this one more time for the price row. So just underneath the first TR, we can add some more TD tags. This time the first one was price. So $79.95. And this one a little bit cheaper, let's say $78.95. So each one of these will correspond with the number just above. So TD again, so let's say $76.95, and then one more. And we can add $74.95 inside there. Hit save, back over to the browser and reload. And now we have 2 rows of data. This HTML we have added for the website's content is exactly the same for both our version so far and also the final version we've seen before. So the CSS styling really plays a big part in a website's look and feel. A lot of table attributes such as align and background color have been deprecated in HTML5, which now favors styling with CSS. We used to do things such as adding borders and aligning text inside the table, just like this. So we'd add a border attribute, set it to 1 pixel wide. We could align the text, inside the center. Save that and reload. So even though this currently works in my browser, again it is recommended to do styling using CSS. We can also replace TD with TH. This is for the table header, which makes the content bold. This is useful for the top row of this table, which is the quantity. So let's go ahead and replace the top row with TH. So these TDs, let's change this to be TH. And we can do this on all of them. So just go through them all one by one and replace TDs with THs. And once we've done that, give that a save and let's see what effect this has. And now we've got the top row as being bold because this is a table heading. This is a basic table setup, but we can go even further and add some more structure to this table. If we take a look at the finished version, so let's go to the product detail and open that in a new tab. If we look at this table just here, just like a HTML document, we can split it up into a header, a body and a footer section. The top row with the quantity can be used for the header. The price data can then be the body. We don't have a good use for the footer tags in this example, but they are there if we need them. Also, we can add a caption at the top of the table too, which we've added here with buy in bulk and save. So let's go over to the project and give this a go. First, we can add the table headings with thead. So surrounding this table row, we can add a new element of thead. Then we can cut our first table row out of there and paste this back inside this table head section. Then we can surround the prices with tbody for this body section. So add tbody into there, and then cut this table row and paste this in the body section. We could add more rows too if required, or even a footer area with tfoot. But for now, let's give that a save and reload the browser. So we see no change to the content, but now our table has a more descriptive structure, just like when we looked at semantic elements early on. Now for the caption, which acts as a heading for the table, which is this text just here. So let's go back to the top of the table, just below this opening table element. And we can add our caption inside of here. And then just add text just like we do with the p tags. So buy in bulk and save. And then back to the product detail page and reload. And there's our text at the top. You can see this text is centered to the table by default. The final thing I want to show you for now with tables is the call span attribute. We can add this to a cell such as TD or TH to make that particular cell the width of 2 or more. If you're familiar with Microsoft Excel, this is the same as merging cells together across a row. Let's give this a go inside the header section to begin by making the quantity span across 2 cells. So the quantity TH, we can add the call span attribute and we set this equal to 2. Refresh, and now quantity spans the width of the 2 cells below. Then we can do the same inside the body for the price. So add call span equals 2. And now the price also takes up the width of 2 cells too. So I'm just going to quickly remove what we don't need for this project. We don't need these call spans in. We can leave the standard table in for now. So remove those two. We also don't need this border and the align properties too. This is it now for our first look at HTML tables. Next we'll move on to capturing user input with forms.